Hey, my name is Arafat Kabugo, a tutor of design thinking. Design thinking is a very unique concept. It has 3 steps that help you to understand how to design a product or an idea with the end user. It starts with inspiration. Inspiration here we mean maybe putting yourself in the shoes of the end user. One is, let's imagine you're designing a product for a rural child, maybe who does not go to school, and then you live in an urban community. How do you put yourself in the shoes of that rural child so that you develop an idea that is going to address his or her needs? The second step is ideation. After designing the idea, after understanding your user, how do you ideate your product? How do you go through the prototyping, putting it to give it life, to give your idea life is what we mean by ideating. Prototyping is when you have a product and then test it with the end user to make sure that it's feasible and it's addressing all the needs of that intended person. And then stage number 3 is the implementation. After experimenting and ideating, that is including prototyping the product, you go ahead and then start implementation or rolling out your product idea. But it's important, one, to understand your user by inspiring or getting inspiration from them. And 2, it's important also to prototype or to test your product with the end user. Many times we ask ourselves, what is the importance of design thinking in entrepreneurship? One is that as a design thinker and an entrepreneurship student or an entrepreneur, you have to learn to design a business or an idea with the end user in mind. Why? Because the product you're designing at one point in time has to end up to the customer's doorstep or to the end user, who at most times has to be in the know or has to be involved in all the steps of designing this business so that the business addresses his or her needs. Secondly is that it allows the business or the owner to experiment, iterate and test the different models of the business idea. One is that if you're starting a business, there are the uniqualities in it. First, you might not know how to structure your revenue model. 2 is that you might not know who your customers are. And 3, you might not know who your competitors are. But if you go through the design thinking process, it will enable you to understand each of these 3 steps that will help you to develop a very unique business that will address the needs of your customers. And 3, it will help you reduce the risks in creating a business model and get to the product market. One, how do you reduce a risk? If you know the uniqueness in your product, if you know the unique value proposition in your business, it will help you reach your market very fast. 2, if you know how much you will need to break through the market, you will take lesser time to go back and iterate on that area. And 4, if you know your market very well, if you know who you're targeting in that given market segment, it will help you reach the intended user very quickly. And thus it will help you reduce the risks that are related when you're starting the different businesses.